segment that out. You're not gonna take your $1,000, go to the table and say, awesome, here I am, baby. It's all going in the field, all $1,000, or it's all going on black, or it's all gonna go on my first blackjack hand. We don't do that. Let's get into session 5 here and talk about budgeting. And we have done a lot of talk about our 401g account. Now, a 401g account for you might be one account. Like it is for me, it might be 3 accounts. Okay, I've got a 401g master account, an expense account, and an excess account. Regardless of how you have your gambling money set up, that account or that system of accounts is there to account for a few things. Primarily, your expenses that get you to and from the casino and food and drink while you're there, right? It accounts for your session money, and it accounts further down the line for your series money. Whatever you withdraw from that 401g accounts for what's going to happen with the money in your hands that day, okay? I like to think of it as kind of a trickle-down system where your 401g account or accounts funds your session. That session funds the series, which is what you're currently betting on in that moment at the table. Your series funds your exact play on this particular bet or shoe or whatever it's going to be. So 401g to the session to the series. You can have another step in there if you want to say 401g funds your trip, which funds your session, which funds your series. Depends on how long you're going to be out gambling. But let's go to our table. I want to take a look actually at what budgeting means with actual money and actual chips. I think it makes feels a little more real when we look at it that way. So let's go ahead and switch over and do a little example here. All right, let's say that this stack of money represents your 401g account, okay, what you've got in your account. Let's say that we've got, for argument's sake, let's say we got $10,000 in here, okay? I would think you foolish to say, I'm gonna use all $10,000 today. We're gonna withdraw every bit of this money. We're gonna fill our car with gas. We're gonna head up to the casino and we're gonna go 9,500 across or whatever, 9,600 across and just dump it all out. We're not gonna do that, right? That'd be foolish. You're gonna take a part of this 10 grand. Now, when you budget it out, okay, again, assume for the sake of argument, you've got 10,000 in a 401g account and you've got some money in an expense account, okay? You take your expense money, of course, you get your car filled up and whatever you're gonna do. The main thing is gonna be this, that you take that money that you're taking out of the bank and that becomes, a part of that becomes what you're gonna buy in with. Let's say out of your 10 grand, let's say you're a 10% player, okay? And again, that can be anything for you. If you're a 10% player and you're trying to be respectful of your master bankroll, you're saying, I'm gonna withdraw $1,000 out of my 10. That's gonna be my session money. Okay, we'll take, let's see, I got 6, 8, 9, 10. We got $1,000 here. There's $1,000. We're gonna take $1,000 out of our account. That's my session money, okay? This is what's in my pocket, okay? Now here's the thing. Give you a little trick here. Number one, take this money out of this account before you leave your house. Or leave your house, go to the bank, get the money. Don't do it at the casino. Matter of fact, leave your debit card home. Leave it in the car, okay? Again, I don't trust me or anybody else, okay? Get your money. I actually have money in my closet right now that I've already withdrawn for my next trip to the casino, right? I don't like bringing my debit card with me. I don't want to be tempted to break this rule right here, my 10% rule. But again, you might be a 20% guy. Take 2 grand out, whatever your number is. Settle on a number that is your withdrawal amount. You're going to risk X amount of dollars from your 401g account to go play with. That is your session money. That's the first piece of it, okay? Your session money. Decide on what that number is gonna be, okay? Once you have decided on your session money, okay, now you go to the table. This is what you buy in the table. This is your cash out of pocket to the table, to a machine, or whatever it's gonna be. This money here then gets divided into multiple series. Now I'm gonna go ahead and convert this money here into chips. We're gonna go ahead and say, let's take $1,000 in chips. So I'm gonna take in blacks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's actually not a lot of money. When you think about like all this money from my bank account, like, man, that's not really a lot of chips, is it? We're gonna take that out though, right? That's gonna be our session money. This is at the table. And what we do with our session money is, again, segment that out. You're not going to take your $1,000, go to the table and say, awesome, here I am, baby. It's all going in the field, all $1,000, or it's all going on black, or it's all going to go on my first blackjack hand. We don't do that, right? We declare a number of series from this. We divided our G account into a session buy-in. Our session buy-in will get divided into a series of what I call series bets. Here's 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 series of $200. You could do 10 series of $100. A lot of people recommend 10 times your play. But what I like to look at is say this session has a win goal. Maybe the win goal for that session is a couple $100. Maybe we're looking to win $200 today. Maybe that's our win goal for the session. If you look at the whole thing and say this whole thing has to win all of this, it can be overwhelming. And it's hard to pull that off. It's a much more daunting task to look at that than it is to say, look at our series. And again, our series has a job to do as well. You say, well, this first series only has to win $50 or 70. Maybe I'll turn $200 into $75. That'd be great. $200, turn it into 50. Whoo! That series did its job and it's coming back, right? The next series has to win $50. Oh my God, it did its job and it's coming back. Look at that. The next series wins $50 and it did its job and it's coming back. And see how we're doing this? Each series in your rack has a job to do. And guess what? You've won your $200 in 4 out of the 5 series. You don't need that last one. You can go home. Okay? Your series, again, are parts of a session. If you segment your 401g account into a buy-in amount, your buy-in gets segmented into series, and each series then achieves a little win goal as it goes. You don't have to look at your entire thing as having this enormous job to do, okay? But again, how do you recognize what a series is? How do you decide what a series is? I have it on screen here. A series could be the amount of money you're willing to risk on a shooter, let's say, in a craps table. It could be how much money you're willing to risk on a shoe in blackjack or in baccarat. This could be the size of maybe $200 becomes 20 reds and 20 reds, and it's a number of stacks that we're going to budget per, every 10 spins at a roulette table. Okay, whatever you're going to decide a series is, when you split your buy-in into multiple series, you can reduce the scope of what you have to get done. It makes it easier to manage. Okay, I think budgeting is important. I think knowing that out of my 10 grand, I'm taking 1,000. Out of my 1,000, I'm betting 2. Out of my 2, I'm looking to win 50. And think of it that way. It makes things a lot easier for you to manage. And when you're down into here and you've lost a couple series, you know where you are. Okay, and this little bit of loss up here represents a tiny amount of your master bankroll. And again, I tend to look at things a little bit more in small scale like this, because to me, the enormity of making $1,000 do $1,000 worth of work can be hard sometimes. I know that the math of this doesn't matter. If I were to bet 900 across one time versus 96 across 10 times, it ends up being the same level of total risk, just saying. But this is easier for my brain to manage. And I think if I look at my budgeting in terms of how much of this master bankroll I needed to get me to the casino and buy me a drink, how much of it I needed to get bought in, how much of this I needed to play, how much I need to win with each part of what I'm playing. And by scoping it down, I think we have a little bit more achievability in terms of how we look and play. So to recap it, playing within a budget is simple. Your 401g funds your session. It's what you withdraw from the bank to go to the casino with. That's a session. Now you could withdraw from the 401g account, let's say $1,500 out of 10,000, and say that's going to be 3 sessions. 3 sessions of $500 at the craps table, roulette table, whatever you're going to do. 3 $500 sessions in one trip. That's legitimate too, as long as you break that down in a way you can understand. Your 401g account funds your session or sessions for the day or for the trip. Each of those sessions, the $500 in this example, funds a certain number of series that you're going to play. $500 series, or whatever that number is going to be for you, or 10 $50 series. However you want to break that money out is up to you. Then the series funds what's going on at the table. That series becomes the bets. That series becomes my craps bet or my roulette play or my single unit parlay strategy I'm going to run on baccarat roulette. The series funds that. I think each thing has to have a goal. I think I need to have a goal for every series to win or it loses itself. I have a goal for my set of series or a session. It either wins its goal overall or it loses itself. That's why I say stop loss 0. And I have a goal overall for my 401g account. My 401g account his goal should always be to sustain itself. Once I get it to a point where I'm happy with the number that it is, my goal is to keep it there. Every day, win at least as much money as I pulled out. And whatever's extra comes home with old Johnny. Okay. Again, having goals for each thing, a goal for a series, a goal for a session, a goal for your G account keeps you here. And I think if you budget yourself properly and know what those percentages are that you're willing to bring out of the bank and put on the table and put into play, budgeting those amounts will help keep you on the straight and narrow and keep you focused. And again, all this boils down to money management and discipline. I think understanding how you're going to budget your money is a big step in that correct direction. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to leave us a comment here in the comment section for the video, but really better still, join us on Discord. Go to casinogaming.tv and hit the community link in the menu there and join our Discord. That's where me, other YouTubers, and all of our subscribers hang out. We sit there and talk strategy and just BS kind of all day long. It's a great way to get connected and stay connected and kind of interact with the team, learn about meetups and get-togethers and all that kind of stuff. So with all that said, again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate your time. God bless you, and I will see you in the next one.